Hello, you've reached Beautiful Gorgeous. How are you guys doing today? Happy New Year because it's just like the second today. I know that I said I have another page. If you're just seeing me for the first time, I have another page, Michelle Deschanel, and I was going to discuss this show on my uh, main page, but I decided to put all the content that I deem adult and any other thing that I plan on doing that I consider to be adult. And with YouTube cracking down so much, I'm going to put it on my second channel. I will be discussing many things on here. There will be topics, there will be discussing shows, all that stuff. So make sure you stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm starting from scratch, y'all, so I need everybody to, join together who's watching this and who's looking at me for. This is going to be the L Word, Season 1, Episode 1, Generation Q, their reboot. This is my first video for my channel. Please support, y'all. I really appreciate it. I don't know how often my schedule is going to be on this page, but I'm going to try to keep up with it. Whatever I say I'm going to review, like me starting this review, I plan to stay with it. I don't know how often I'm going to post because I usually post on my main channel somewhat daily, but I can't do it on this page because it's just too much managing my house and having a full-time job. But there will be content here, probably maybe 2 times a week or so. So stay tuned for that. And as things pick up, I'll see how this page goes. And if there's a need for more, then I'll try to make time for more and get more going. Okay, y'all. Sorry that was a little winded. I just wanted to make the disclaimer first because this is my first video for this channel. It's a review. And I'm reviewing, like I said, the L Word reboot, Generation Q. So, we start off, we see, the first thing you see is sex, okay? It's a girl, someone's going down on her, and we see that it's another woman, not girl, whatever, you know what I mean? So, they're having sex, or she's going down on her, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So yeah, they're like in bed, it's a couple, and then she's like, oh, I don't know. The girl who was receiving was saying, oh, I don't know, I woke up so horny, and then the other girl brings up her fingers and they're a bloody mess. I was like, y'all nasty. But that was very funny. So we see that. So this is just us being introduced to the characters. I mean, they do have some of the OGs from the original L Word, but we're seeing, I guess, the new characters first. So from there, we see this girl on a bike. She's trying to start her car, and the car won't start. So, and then what it looks like, I wasn't sure, but was that house the one that was? It looked like the old house from the angle from the back. Was that like Jenny's old house? Well, and then Shane and all them. Is that their old house and area? Not 100% sure, but it kind of looked like that. You guys, I'm going to make a lot of references. If you've never seen the L Word, the first one, please go watch it. It is so good. It came out a long time ago. Lord. I don't know. I was like a sophomore or freshman in college. They said it's been 10 years. So it came out, I guess it ended 10 years ago, but it came out before that. Anyway, this is going to be kind of long, y'all. So bear with me because I just want to say my thoughts. Each review is not going to be so long, but this is going to be a little bit long because I'm just going to talk about references from the original show to this and what I'm thinking and predictions and stuff like that. So if y'all true fans will feel me on this, and if not, skip through to what you want to hear about or whatnot, but it's all going to be relevant to what we're talking about. So from there, we see the girl, she's on a bike and she pulls up to some other house or rides up to some other house. And then we see this Asian dude, he's in the house and he's on the phone. And would think that he's like a professor or or something, because he's speaking to a student saying that they don't call home, I guess because one of the students thought that since he or she was getting a bad grade that they were going to call home or whatnot. I'm like, they don't do that in college, girl. No. So he was just telling her that. From there, we see Bet about her business. So we already know from the preview. I did my reaction video on my main channel. If you want to see that, just me reacting to it. I was like way too excited. But yeah, she's about her business and she is running for mayor. So we see her very quickly. It's not too much going on. And then we see her daughter, because in the original L Word, her and Tina had a daughter, and I believe correct me if I'm wrong, Bet's brother, I think, or something, is the biological father or something like that, or somebody in Bet's is the biological father, and then Tina was the mother of it, or of this child. I'm not 100% y'all. I'll have to correct me in the comments, so I don't got to go back and look. But yeah, so she's all grown up. She looked like she's a teenager. It says it's been 10 years, but when the show ended, the little girl was about 4 or 5 or something. So she probably like 16 or something, 15, 16 in high school. So we see her. She's, leaving out, whatever, going to school or whatnot. Then we see Alice, and I see 2 very grownish kids. I'm like, wait, these kids look kind of old. Where these kids come from? Are these Alice's kids? But then I see the other character, who is her partner. I don't know if they're married. I'm not 100% sure if maybe they're married. I don't know. Her partner, which is another female, because Alice was kind of identifies as bisexual. So I was kind of wondering. I was like, wait, don't tell me that y'all done wrote Alice as this L Word, y'all. I mean, it's fine to write her as being I just would never see Alice completely being in a like hetero anything. But she did, dibble and dabble with men a little bit back in the original season. You know what I mean? So from there, it's her trying to make these kids some breakfast, and they ungrateful time. She's like, my mom used to make me this. Like, y'all, you ain't my mama. Little badass kids. So then their mother comes in, and her partner come in, like, oh, you guys say thank you to Alice and blah blah blah. They're like, whatever. And then I guess their mother is she's divorced from their parents when they had a family together. So they try to do this blended family thing. So that mother comes in, and they're like, oh, because Alice was supposed to be taking them to school. So you can see the dynamic between how the mom, who I guess whatever, moved out, and they're no longer together, but this mom, they share custody, and you can see that it's kind of like Alice kind of feels kind of odd woman out in this particular situation, and the kids kind of, like, well, you ain't my mama, we didn't been in this house, and they still probably, the divorce is probably still fresh to them, because it doesn't seem like, I don't know how long they've been together, they didn't mention it, but it still seemed like they're trying to get their footing as a family and work together. But seems like the ex is kind of still being petty, coming over when it's not her time to take the kids to school, just to make, so like, oh, the kids gonna choose, oh, we want to go with, mom, and not Alice, and make Alice feel like, stank, like she ain't shit, so, like bald-headed stepchild, like that ain't right. So whatever. So we see that that's going to be kind of the dynamic in her home life, because Alice got a whole bunch of other stuff going on too. From there, we see Shane. Oh my goodness, I was just happy. But honestly, I've been seeing Shane because honestly, this woman plays the same character in every show when she's on it. Like, she is on Grownish, she's on Ray Donovan, and I swear I've seen her on something else, and she be dressing the same, play the same character. So she's been playing Shane for the past 10 years with a different name on different shows, to me, honestly. But Shane is back, y'all, and she living that jet life, getting off a jet and stuff, doing real good money wise, because Shane used to be extra post, so the come up was real after 10 years, y'all. It was real. So she's getting off and everything, and they're like, the stewardess like, oh, thank you for flying with us, and she's like, yeah, and the girl looking at her. Then the next thing you know, they up in somewhere fucking and whatnot. Because I was like, they look like they done fucked or want to fuck or about to fuck, and that's pretty much where that went. And then same old Shane, and the damn thing changed pretty much. So from there, we see the girl from the couple from the original beginning scene. Well, actually, another thing that wait, is that what happened? Oh, we with the Asian dude and the other white girl who biked over to the house and all that. They all, the Asian dude and that couple in the beginning scene, they all live together. And then I forgot to mention this part. They see some dude who's moving in next door. I think he looks like a, I don't know, Hispanic gentleman or something. And then, you know, the girl's like, oh my goodness, that could be your future husband, to the Asian cat or whatnot. And whatever. So we'll see the new neighbor and all that. So that is going to be a developing little story about the new people who's new next door. Kind of like the same thing with when Jenny moved in next door. It's this hetero couple moving in next door, and it's like this whole world of lesbianism around them, but this is just like a random gay dude moving next door, whatever. So from there, let me jump. So the girl from the couple or whatnot, her name is Sophie. Y'all, my bad, it's a piece of hair on my finger. Sophie is her name. I didn't catch everybody's name low key, y'all, sorry. But she's the she's like Hispanic or Afro Latina or whatever, with curly hair. Her and the white chick who was on the bike or whatnot, they work for Alice on Alice's television show. I'm like, okay, Alice. Y'all remember Alice had that one network of like the 6 degrees of sexual separation, and how like she had that big ass chart that turned into like this big ass site, a website that turned into this, and apparently that led her to greatness of having a show. So now she has a show that's like pretty much looks like super feminist, women empowerment type stuff, like a movement and all that, you know. So she just has her own platform on television now. So that's her glow up. And these girls work for her, and I think one is her assistant, and one I think is like I don't know, a little bit more higher up in the show than old girl is, it seems like. Because she was like in the meetings and stuff talking about she wanted to make pitches and stuff to her. So I feel like another girl was just like getting her coffee and stuff. So I feel like she's higher up in it than she is. So we see that. From there, we see Shane come to visit Alice on set, and she's like, oh my gosh, Shane, I'm just so happy to see you, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So then they go off and they go have brunch with Tina or whatnot. So they having brunch with, not Tina, oh my goodness, with Bet. They have lunch with Bet, and you know, they just catching up, like, I missed you. And then it was like Bet goes and asks her like, oh, have you talked to her yet? And she's like, nah, I ain't talked to her. I'm just I'm just asking you because I miss you, worry about you. I'm like, who is her? Who does Shane running away from now? Who she ain't talking? You know, Shane always running away from damn body. So I knew it was somebody she was running away from, because that's just Shane. So from there, somebody calls Bet, and then, you know, Bet's like, you know, I can't talk right now. I'm doing so. So they was like, oh, that's got to be Tina. We have yet to see Tina yet, though. We ain't seen Tina yet, but she's being mentioned here. So I'm like, okay. All right. So from there, they were talking about, oh, Shane, how's your new house? She's like, it's big, empty. She's like, oh, we're going to get you a bed, and we'll send you a bed. I wish my friends would send me a bed. Somebody send me a free bed. That's amazing. You know, what? That's that level where, you know, like, oh, it's no problem. We'll just send you a bed so you can be nice, and I'll send my assistant to do that. Like, these are the type of things that I just one day hope to get to a level of being able to do. But anyway, the glow up. So anyway, from there we see Bet's daughter, or what Bet and Tina's daughter, she is getting an early she at school not paying attention. She getting an early dismissal, and then she's sitting outside with like the counselor or some talking about some, oh, you know, I know my when my grandmother was sick, and it's like her grandma was sick. I'm like, what? So then some car pull up bumping all this ghetto trap type music, and she's like, oh, that's my cousin, thank you. And then she run off to this car. So it's some little girl, some little white girl, whatever. And I'm like, is their daughter gay, or is that just her friend? I don't know right now, because she has like little rainbow stuff on, but that don't mean she gay. I mean, she grew up in a household where that's everywhere, so, you know, wearing rainbows don't mean you gay. So anyway, but we don't know from here, but I got a little inkling later about what was going on with the little girl, but you just never know. And plus, people are just, you know, kids experiment, just do different stuff. People experiment in general, and nobody is anything to me. Everybody is fluid, and people fall differently on the spectrum, whether you like one more of this or one more of that. It's all love. As long as you ain't hurt nobody, I don't care. So from there, we are... So, yeah, and then they start vaping and stuff in the car. You know, they have to throw that in. You know, they have to show that they're up and with the times now. So they have to show the things that are going on with the children and, you know, each generations of, you know, whatnot. So we're back at Bet for Mayor in the office. We see her, and y'all, her like bodyguard or like super assistant person, that is that same trans man, I believe, who plays on Queen Sugar. Looks just like him. I'm pretty sure it's him. I didn't look it up before I came on here and talked to y'all because I wanted to get this out because I'm very behind. They're already on episode 5 and I'm just doing episode 1. I'm going to probably see if I can condense the other, the little recaps that I'm doing into just one just so I can catch up. But I don't know. It might be too long because it's probably going to be long too. So anyway, but I want to give y'all thorough because I got to pay respects to this show. This show was the shit back in the day. Hopefully it's giving me, you know, the good vibes, but they do touch on a lot of good stuff. So don't let, just listen, y'all. Just listen. Damn. No. So from there, we see Sophie is in the we see not Sophie, her partner or whatever, the girl she was having sex with or whatever in the bed and all that. And then it was mentioned before, like, oh, we gonna propose to her, so they're together. She's like, oh, we living together. I hate when people think that just because you live with somebody that's enough. Like, no, I'm not just gonna live with you and be in a relationship with you. Where are we going next? Because people get too comfortable. If you living with somebody, sometimes you shouldn't live with people. But I mean, I know people got bills and stuff, so you kind of have to cohabitate just so you can survive out here in these streets. But if you can manage on your own until somebody, you know, do it. Anyway, that's my bad. I ain't got nothing, but I'm just saying I don't like when people do that, especially men. Men do that too. Women do it too, y'all. They think just don't let people get too comfortable in relationships. Don't get too comfortable. So from there, she is actually taking the meeting with Bet, and then I remember the Asian dude when she was talking to her from before. She was like, "Oh, I want to propose to the girl, the girl with curly hair. She wants to propose to her girlfriend, but she was saying my father, you know, no, I think the dude was like, you know, your father would never approve or something. One of them said something about her father. So I'm like, who the hell is her father and why he all up in it and care about who she fucking and gonna get married to? So there we see that she's a pretty much big in business in like some type of corporation. It's her father's corporation. She even touches on it while she's in the meeting with Bet and homeboy, who's the one from Queen Sugar. I don't catch his name. I will get names on the next episode, y'all, or try to get most of them. Sorry, but this is just my fresh off the brain. Want to tell you, saying, hey, she's like, oh, he's like, oh, you're taking this meeting and all that. She's like, sorry, my father couldn't be here, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, oh, you, and then she runs down her qualifications for being able to take on her father's meeting and whatnot. And then she's like, yeah, but I know what you're thinking. There probably is kind of some form of nepotism, not what you know, who you know, or who your daddy is. Stuff like that, y'all. That part. So, but she goes on to say that she's very qualified and all that. But that wants to know where is, because this is they're a potential sponsor or donors to her campaign, and they're meeting with her because they want to back her and they want her back. They want her on the same, pages them because, you scratch my back, scratch your back type of stuff. Like, I'll help you with funding, but you help me with this once you get in office type, politics, y'all. Y'all know. So from there, Beck goes on to say, where is y'all funding coming from? And, like, what companies do y'all all have? Because they're like a whole corporation. So they have a lot of little, smaller other companies within their corporation. So she inquires about, where's the where the money coming from, pretty much. How y'all got all this money? Because if y'all only doing charitable works and stuff, that don't bring in the money. You got to get your hands a little dirty to get the big bucks, to be a big ass corporate type shit, okay? So that's what she was trying to scratch and see what's going on, where y'all money coming from. Because old girl tried to kind of be like, oh, well, we have a lot of different companies, but the company that's going to directly be funding you is going to be from our wounded warriors, and we do a lot of charity work. She was like, okay, that's not what I asked you. What other companies and all this and the money is coming from that? And then she's like, isn't it, don't y'all have a thing with pharma, pretty much big pharma? Aren't y'all pretty much in ties with big pharma, and don't y'all the money goes to selling pharmacy and opioids and stuff like that? And then she was like, well, I mean, she's backtracking, and then Bet read her for filth. She's like, no, don't try to play with me, little girl. You sitting here, y'all, that's disgusting. You sitting here, I don't care what other great projects and stuff you have going that are for the good. I can't believe you're gonna sit here and talk to me. So I can understand if a straight-laced white man was sitting here trying to sell me this bullshit, but you being, for one, the girl's a minority, she's a woman, and she gay. So I'm like, how dare you, like, even try to, how do you even sleep at night being so many of these things that a part of a big portion of the minority and the oppressed? How can you even sit there and be a part of something like that? But because you can tell she's been bred, like, if y'all ever seen How to Get Away with Murder, this is what Laura would be if Laura was Daddy's girl. This is what Homegirl would be, because she was thoroughly, groomed for this position, and apparently probably because maybe there was no boy in the family, so she takes over and does a lot of Daddy's dirty work too. And Bet was like, I'm not having it. Y'all sit here and y'all sell drugs to the community. And LA is going through such a big crisis, and this is not what I stand for. We done with this meeting. And she walk out on Homegirl. And Homegirl just felt like cracked egg on her face, because she just felt real dumb and ashamed. Because I'm like, how are you going to sit here and try to justify any type of means of selling opioids and all this other stuff? There is no way like that you can justify all that. Big pharma is bullshit. So that was there with that. So they touched on that. So then Alice takes a meeting, and she was talking about trying to get someone on her show, like a good person, to get a woman, because they had was it Dr. Phil or Dr. Oz, I think. And she's like, I don't want him, a man on here mansplaining vagina stuff. And she was like, I want someone good and blah, blah, blah. So Sophie jumps in and says that she has an in with Kamala Harris. And she's like, are you sure you can get her? And Sophie's like, yeah, I can get her, because I interviewed her back in so-and-so when she was just a DA. So I should be able to get her, And then it was like, okay, well, all right now. You can't be going around telling people you're going to do something and you can't deliver. Motherfuckers get fired from that. Gotta be of your word. Word is bond. Okay, so they jump off of that part. And then we jump and we see the girl who was at the meeting with, I don't remember her name. Her last name is Nunez. Miss Nunez. That's what she's going to be right from right now, just like I'm saying the girl. Nunez, the Nunez girl. Her father comes out, and she was like, next time you want me to take a meeting or something like that, you're going to have to brief me on what I'm walking into. She made me feel stupid and blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, whatever, but I got something bigger for you to take care of. One of our employees' son OD'd. I'm like, well, that's karma coming around real back. I know they're trying to push this point, but it kind of came around real quick. Maybe they just trying to throw the hard-hitting things in for the first episode. I'm like, okay, that came around too fast, y'all. Like, you're horrible, you're in big pharma. Boom, one of y'all employees' son has died from an OD. I get it, but it was really pushing it home real fast. But okay, I'll let y'all have that one because the message is still there. So from there, she has to go and pretty much handle. A lot of people be having them handlers and stuff. The employee, and he was like, "This is all our fault. You know what we sell here and what we do here." And she was like, "No, it's not our fault. Don't sit there and blame the company and blah, 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 blah. Your son, he was a person and everything like that. Let's not make him another statistic." So she's just like sitting here pretty much talking him down because it sounded like he was going to go in that press conference and say some shit like, "Oh, I'm ashamed because the very company I work for is the one helped in killing my son." That's what it sounded like homeboy was about to go say, but that's why he sent his daughter in there to go handle his ass because that wouldn't have been good for nobody in the company and stocks and shit. So for a main player and the boy was 23, very sad. So he goes on, does a press conference, the man whose son passed or whatnot, and Bet was like, oh, and Bet's watching it with homeboy, her main assistant or security guard, I don't know, he just handled a lot of things for her, and she was like, oh wow, and then she was like, dude was like, that's not him. She's like, oh, he's handling it well. Then homeboy's like, oh, that's not him to handling. That's not him talking. That's homegirl who you met, the Nunez chick. That's her talking because ain't nobody in their right mind after losing their child be that articulate and saying stuff. This is that girl. I'm like, oh, she is good. Too bad that she works for the wrong side. That's what Bet left that at. So we see the Asian dude again. He at home, and I guess trying to get the courage up to go see homeboy next door. He go like, oh, let me help you get these chairs and all that or whatnot. He like, all right, cool. He helping him carry the chairs in. He's like, oh, I love these chairs. He's like, oh, my ex hated these chairs. And then he is clumsy. You see, he's little clumsy little Asian boy, but he got tats all up on his arm. I guess whatever. And then he turns with the chair, break the band window, and he's like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. This guy happens to be the property manager of the over there or whatnot. So I guess like a whole little community. I gotta figure out these apartments or what. These some nice ass places. I don't know. I gotta look more when I'm watching. This is my first watch of it, and I'm not about to go watch it again. I'm just gonna keep looking as I'm watching other episodes. So yeah, he was like, oh, so he's like, I'm sorry about that, but would you like to go out to dinner later? And he was like, sure. Where are you guys going? And I guess dude thought that it was just gonna be, since there's so many people in the house, that it was just gonna be a group thing, which would have been kind of cool, cause just in case. But look, Asian boy, he was like, oh yeah, I'll figure out what they wanted. He's like, us. He's like, oh, you meant them too? And then he's like, you know what? How about if it's just me and you go? And then dude was like, yeah, cool. I thought he was gonna be like, nah, homie. But he was just like, all right, cool, that sounds good too. So they gonna have a little date and stuff. We'll see how that go. He didn't waste no time. He seemed like he might be a little bit nervous and scared, but he wasn't scared with asking him out on a date. So I'm like, okay, he didn't waste no time. Jumped right up on that. So okay, so they're gonna go on their little date. We don't see that in this episode, but we'll see later. So from there, we see back to Alice and Sophie, and she goes and says that she can't get Kamala Harris or whatnot. She was like, what the fuck? She's like, don't sit there and pitch someone and get me excited about somebody if you can't do it. Like, that's not how this works. You need to, if you're saying that you're so sure about something, you need to be sure. So that was just that, and it just bumped off from her. So she's like, damn, I feel stupid now. Then we see Shane and the other kind of butchish white girl who's right on the bike from before, his friends, whatever. And she set up Shane's bed, and then, she's like, oh, it's all set up, and everything. And Shane just sitting her getting her workout on, punching the punching bag. Shane, like, she always got problems and dark inner secrets and stuff. So girl was just overstaying her welcome. It seemed like she was like, "Oh, this is just so nice. If you need anything else," I'm like, more traditional lesbian, because you could tell by her voice, like, yeah. But she was like, "I'm more traditional lesbian when it comes to being handy, and I can build and I can fix whatever you need and blah blah." Shane's like, "All right, money's on the counter." Or whatever. She's like, "Oh no, Alice already paid me." He's like, "Oh, just take it as a tip." He's like, "No, I wouldn't feel right." She's like, "I would take a beer if you got one." And then he's like, "All right, cool, some beer over there." And then homegirl just went to ramble. You could tell Shane really wasn't really trying to be bothered like that, but she wasn't rude. She didn't want to like get out after you fixed my bed up, just get out and stuff. Homegirl was just sitting there like, "Man, this is how I thought it would be like when I moved to LA, but I live in a house that's all super crowded with 5 other girls and this, cause." And then Shane was like, "Really, where you from?" Shane was like, "I've been there, man. Like, you gotta start somewhere, when you come here and stuff like that." It's like, "Where you from?" I think she said Minnesota or something. So she was like, "Oh," like, "Well, you know what? I got some extra bedrooms in the back somewhere in my house, big house. If you need somewhere to crash or whatever, sometime, feel free." So I was like, "Damn, I wish somebody would offer me some shit like that when I was younger." But I mean, hey, didn't happen that way, but it would have been nice, some millionaire or people with money, like, "Hey, so you get your shit off your feet and you just go ahead and crash my house. We're free like a motherfucker." I'm like, yes. But anyway, so I was like, that was very nice of Shane. But Shane's just lonely. She just wants somebody probably around. That's why a lot of people be letting any old folks in their house. So from there, we see Shane's getting a whole bunch of blowing up phone texts and calls and stuff, and then girl is just noticing, talking about who that. Shane like, "My wife." I'm like, "Shane, you was married. Who do you done married and left behind now?" So Shane, now she didn't already tried to marry Carmen, about to marry Carmen, broke that little girl heart, left her, and now you went and married somebody else. Like, Shane, marriage ain't for everybody. It just ain't. So just don't do it. Stop giving these girls hope and then leaving them in the dust. And then going off and fucking somebody. Unless you're going to get with somebody who is just as hoe as you is and y'all could be married and hoeing together, then just stop. But anyway, she's too old for that. But so from there, we see Bet trying to we see what do we see? Homegirl Sophie or whatnot trying to she ends up proposing to old girl, because old girl comes home, and there's a little part when the Nunez girl, her father comes to her in a parking lot, and she's like, and the dad was like so much how she handled their employee, and then the board said that she's up for a promotion to be like, I don't know, vice president or some shit. Talking about you earned it. She's talking about we'll celebrate over the weekend. She's like, "Oh, I'll invite Sophie," and he was like, "Who?" So that just lets you know how much he don't fuck with your girlfriend like that anyway. She should have checked him on that, but whatever. You can still tell she still wants daddy's approval. And then he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can bring your little friend." She's like, "Dad, she's not just a friend." He's like, "You know what? Being and playing around and stuff while you're young, that's fine." So you can tell that he don't take her relationship serious. I don't even think it's because she's a lesbian. I think that he just don't feel like homegirl is in the status wise good enough for his daughter. So, or I don't know much more about the father, but he already rubbed me the wrong way anyway. So from there, she was just sitting in her car, and she was just like, having to deal with her father. And she looks over, she see that man who she handled to sit there and tell all that stuff about his son and not bring up the whole opioids and ODing, crying. I was like, I hope that man don't blow his brains out right here, because I get dark real quick on stuff, but I'm like, that'd be too dark if this was another show, maybe like Scandal or something. That probably would happen, but not on the thing. You don't see like a lot of murder on the L Word. I'm like, that would have been too dark, and who wrote that part? Like, but I thought he was gonna just straight blow his brains out or something. I'm like, oh my God, but he did. He was just crying. But anyway, so she's sitting there, she feeling extra bad, and then it jumps to her being in the house set up the candle. No, then she listened to a message from her girlfriend Sophie, and she's like, "Oh, baby, I miss you. I had a horrible day. What you want for dinner and all this, and I just want you to get home so I can smack that ass." And it was just a recording. Like, I just want you to know I love you so much. It was just really sweet. And I guess that touched her heart. So then she went home and got stuff ready for her and lit up all the candles. And she was looking at the ring. So I was like, oh, she gonna really propose this time? Because it looked like she was a little reluctant before because of daddy. So she ends up, Sophie ends up coming home, and New Year's girl, she was sitting there looking all nervous and like, oh, yeah, I just wanted to talk to you because, you know, I love the way you smile and all, you know, start running down the stuff that she loved about this girl. She's like, wait, what are you doing? And then she go ahead and propose to it. And the ring size is wrong. I'm like, how you know her ring size? Then, you know, they celebrate and all that stuff, and boom, to that. It was a little cute moment. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to see that. I don't know if that's going to last. I don't seem like it's going to last to me, especially because the way she be sitting here going back and forth with Bet. Oh, then, did I do the Bet part? Oh, yeah. So from there, we see Bet doing a little forum and, you know, talking to the press and talking to people, talking about everybody, you know, I'm here for change and love and all this, and I just want to see a better LA, and homelessness, you know, it's probably talking about Skid Row, because homelessness in LA and stuff is ridiculous. It's awful. And I think they're sitting there making up, trying to make new laws and stuff for like the camping laws and all that. Like, it's just bad, y'all. If anybody know what I'm talking about when it comes to the homelessness and them trying to get that under control and housing and all that. I even talked to some people from LA. It's like really sad. I mean, homelessness everywhere is sad, but it's really, really bad there. And she was just speaking on it. And then she opened the forum up to the audience and said, does anybody want to, you know, what questions or whatnot. So y'all, the first question she get, some white man talking about he looked a little deranged. I'm like, what's wrong with him? He don't look like he got a happy question. He asked her, was she the commissioner or the something or something she was working at back in so-and-so time? And she was like, yeah, I used to work there. He's like, so you were the head and then you were the boss or something at so-and-so this. And then he's talking about do you think that what you stand for and all this, and you had sex and you slept with my wife? I was like, what? You fucked his wife? And then he's like, shame on you, Beth Porter. Shame on you. I'm like, ooh, girl. Bet you know you trifling. But then she got a flashback, so it must have been good because she got a flash. She's like, and she was just stuck on stupid, and they was like, get him out of here. And then they run her off, and she's just sitting there. She's like, fuck. And she's like, I gotta call my daughter. I don't want her to hear about this shit on some Twitter. So I'm like, girl, you know you need to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, because shit will come out of the woodwork. A Twitter tweet from 2005 will come out. If you touch somebody, anything nowadays, you can't do nothing. And girl, she should have had that. She should have had somebody. That question and that dude should have never made it to her. So she needs some better people on her team. And that's where we gonna go a little further in a little bit. We'll see. But from there, she's like, so she all stressed out and everything. And she waiting she's sitting in the house calling her daughter with Alice and Shane in the house. And I was like, we'll try to call her. And then she answering the phone. And then she finally come home, her daughter whatnot, and then she's like, where have you been? I've been trying to contact you. And she's like, I hate you. She's like, look, you gotta let me explain. And she's like, every time you fuck somebody, it's just messing with my life, and I'm so embarrassed to be your daughter. And she was like, first she's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, but for one, I don't care who I'm fucking. I am your mama. And don't get your ass whooped, okay? Like, for one, don't be coming up in here. Then she was like, wait a minute, are you high? And then she was like, no. She's like, let me see your bag. And back going through her bag and everything. And she was like, no, yeah. She was like, I was vaping. She's like, what is a vape? I'm like, bet, don't be that old person telling myself what is a vape now. And she was like, I was vaping, but it was with so-and-so, and she has it, or whatnot. And I don't know if that's the little girlfriend or what, because they was sitting on the bench, and she was trying to take a picture with her, and then she wanted to kiss her, but the other girl looked like she wasn't feeling it, or she didn't know why she was looking at her like that, so I don't know. Just want to throw that in there. Um, and then she was like, she was like, it's just, she was like, it's weed is legal. She was like, not if you 16, little girl. Don't be sitting here trying to tell me why weed is legal. And then she was like, I want to move and go back and live with Mama T. She was like, oh, do you want me to go tell Mama T what you was doing today? Why you want to hop and go move your little stinking ass over there? And she's like, oh, well, do you want me to tell her about what you did? She was like, I'm sure she know. It's everywhere, girl. Don't be trying to throw back at your mama. Girl, that news is everywhere. And you need to watch your smart ass mouth, little girl. Okay? I don't care if you got that teen angst, teen emotions and hormones. Don't get popped up in here, because you got popped. Anyway, so this is that. She was like, I don't want you to think that. She's like, I'm sorry that I failed you as a parent, because I need to be doing better. You do need to be doing better, girl. But you always trying to be fucking people, either breaking up marriages, breaking up your own fucking. She stay away from married people and don't be marrying fucking people, because she got that bad. So anyway, and then it went to one Shane. She was talking to Shane and Alice. Alice was like, why don't you just come on my show, tell your side of the story? Because she was like, I think that they just telling me I should drop out. They was like, hell no, don't drop out. You are a good candidate. Don't let this one little hiccup. You didn't force that woman to do anything. Just because she having sexual identity, whatever stuff, and she fucking you and she got a husband, that is on her. But you shouldn't be fucking married people. But that was consenting adult. You ain't raped nobody, nothing. So don't be having them try to shame you and act like you some type of predator or whatnot. So get your story out there. Come on my show. And then she's like, I don't know. But then she ends up doing it. So from there, we see her on Alice's show. And then we see Nunez girl. She's there because, you know, her girl work on the show. So she's sitting in the audience because I guess she wants to see Bet or something. And from there, my bad. Something on my phone, my bad. Anyway, from there, she's seeing Bet, and Bet gives this good old speech because Alice was like, you have a more personal reason about why you're so against, like, opioids and all this, and why do you choose not to talk about it? Because she was like, we've known each other for 25 years. She's like, Alice knows, but she was like, you want to share? It's like, people want to know who you are. And then she was like, I'll tell you who I am. And she got off on a spiel. I'm a mama, a sister, a daughter, a friend, a cousin, an auntie, and uncle, all these things. And she's like, I am you too. I am your mistakes. I am this. I am that. And she just goes on and was like, I just feel like, don't be mad at the messenger, because I ain't that great, but I have a great message. So, and she just like, and everybody's like, yeah, Bet Porter. And then, so I feel like that was actually really good for her to go on that show, because she didn't trip up. She got that, she definitely got that politics, clean it up, redirect, because she didn't like want to sit there. She was like, because Alice was like, you don't want to talk about, you're not going to apologize for sleeping with that man's wife. She's like, no, it's two consenting as adults. I don't condone sleeping with married people, but I also don't condone people shaming somebody for, certain things. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable apologizing. I don't feel comfortable. And then Alice was like, well, you didn't really answer the question. She's like, well, I feel like I did. And then Alice just kept moving. And then that's when she's talking about some shit, everybody, uncle, cousin, sister, friends, and aunties and uncles and all that stuff. So from there, we see little Nunez girl. She's sitting there feeling so inspired and looking at Bet like, oh, she's great. She is everything to me. Like, she is that bitch. So I'm like, she gonna reach out to Bet again, because she just keeps this in her eye every time she see Bet and shit. I'm like, girl, don't let Bet get you fucked up. I'm just saying, it's okay to like Bet and her views, but don't be like, oh, she also fine too, and not hit that. Like, don't fuck it up, and don't be hurting that little girl that she with right now, because Bet is the same. Because she remind me like she's got power, hungry, driven, and stuff like that, just like how Bet is, and it's just not looking well for that. And so anyway, from there, we see old girl, Nunez girl. She sleep at night in the bed with Sophie, and then she goes to see Bet the next day. Talking about, you ask me how I sleep at night, I don't. And although I been on the wrong side this whole time, I feel like I guess she just feels like been compelled to make a change and to be better, to be different. And I guess she's like, for the past couple of days, I'm like, you ain't feel bad about it till the past 2 days, girl? Really? Okay. So, you know what the fuck you was doing from before Bet said shame on you, okay? But anyway, so she tells Bet that she wants to be a part of her camp to work with her, and she feels that she ain't gonna be able to win unless she brings her on board. So I'm like, okay, boo, you think you really that bitch that Bet ain't gonna get nowhere without you? But she do need somebody to help clean certain shits up, like that little scandal with the girl. With that married lady. So y'all, that was. Oh, and then she said a spiel because, like, oh, she's always been born and bred to protect that company and all that, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, y'all, that was kind of long. It was a long episode, it was like an hour. But that was it. I don't want to keep y'all any longer. If y'all rocking with me on this season of the L Word, the reboot, let me know. What do y'all think gonna happen? I don't think the homegirl relationship gonna last much longer, especially when she started working with Bet. It took Bet 2 days to open her eyes about something. She been with that girl how long? I'm just saying, if you get with somebody and they like a breath of fresh air, and then they got you want to change and make a huge change, and she could barely tell her daddy that she want to get engaged, but all of a sudden she want to completely leave her father's family's company after speaking with Bet. And you know how her daddy gonna feel about that. So, okay. So I don't think she should have proposed to that girl, especially since she's about to make such a big just change. She didn't even talk to this girl about that. So I'm thinking, like, if y'all really that close, she ain't told her nothing about it. Like, that's not how relationships work. If you got something that pressing on your mind, you tell your spouse about it. Communication is key, people. Communication. So she didn't even talk to this girl about all this shit. Alice, I don't know how that's going to go as far as her and her little domesticated life, because it flashes back on Alice and that woman kids getting into bed with them while they trying to get their swerve on. I don't know. Shane, I'm sure Shane's wife going to come back out of nowhere hurt and sad, because that's what Shane do, break hearts and just keep it moving. The new people, I don't know much enough about them to know. I want to know what happens, who it is that Bet is so sad about with the opioids. I hope it's not Pam Grier's character and they're trying to write it so like she went off the deep end and died. I don't know why they're saying like Bet is so driven against like the drug war and all this stuff. So, because I really wanted to see Pam Grier. She can call her. She's still alive. What's going on? She still look fine. She could be in here. What's the problem? So, yeah, y'all. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if we have some other people pop back in. I don't know, because as of right now, it kind of looks like these are the front runners for the show. It's going to be about them. I don't know if we're going to get some guest appearances or anything. Yeah, y'all. I'm just here for the ride, and I just want to see what happens. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all later. I don't know if I'm going to mesh up the rest of the episode just so I can get caught up and give y'all the content for it, or if I'm going to do one by one and then just release one each day. I'm about to go back and finish watching this stuff because I'm on vacation and I need to finish watching stuff before my vacation is over. Yeah, but love you guys. Peace.